Okay, so I had a video, and I don't know if I got it online or not, uploaded. It was so terrible. If you've seen it, if it's out there, it's out there. If not, it was just an awful video, and you really didn't miss much. The basic idea in the video was to show you how I altered this book to make it my new altered planner, my altered junk journal. No, my altered junk planner. That's it, altered junk planner. This book is called New Illustrated Encyclopedia of Gardening. And in case I don't upload the first video related to this, that's about the actual altering of the book. That's the title. I just wanted to share that. And because these books are perfect if you can find them. The original one that I picked up at a yard sale, a garage sale, or a thrift shop or something. That one got lost, which is why I had to make a new junk planner, altered junk planner. And I was very sad, but I finally resigned myself to the fact that it was gone. It was toast, and stopped looking for it. I've already been back to where I'm pretty sure I lost it. I've called many times, and I've been there in person once, and there's no hope. It's gone. But, you know, if you haven't done one before and are looking for a book to use, this would be absolutely perfect. The size is great. You could get something a little wider, maybe. It just depends on your, personal style and how you're writing. Like, do you like to write really big and have a lot of space for that, or that kind of thing. But what makes it so perfect in my eyes is the fact that the pages are very they're matte and very smooth but matte. So they will take markers, pens, ink, paint, color pencils very well. Yep, they're great. And I went through and talked to you about how to find your centers of each signature. And here's the little string. Yeah, if you can't see it, you can hear me popping it. You can actually see it. I don't think even if I held it up close, you could really see it. So, well, here's one where I broke the string, so that's sticking out. Maybe I could get that to where you could see it. Yeah, right there. There's the string that's holding the book together, or the pages in. Yeah, I pulled that out. Not supposed to do that, but that's okay. When it comes time, I can, secure that better with some washi tape or masking tape, painter's tape, electrical tape, whatever kind of tape. Another piece of paper, a little strip you could glue in there. So I did that. I went through and pulled out pages. You need to make room for adding things back in. So that's why you pull out pages. I'd say I pulled out about 1/3 of the pages. And one thing I found, that's how I broke this, is I pulled out the, did I do it in this one? I don't know, those page numbers don't look like it because that's 60 and 61. But in one of the signatures, what I found was I pulled out the very center 2 pages, pulled them out very gently, and the string still broke. So you might want to leave your center pages and glue those together and pull out ones behind it. Anyway, moving on. The next thing you want to look at are how many images are on the pages. See, this is perfect because you have plenty of writing space here. I mean, I can write over the text. That doesn't bother me. In fact, it's kind of fun. So, but images like this and these, there's a way to deal with them, and I'll show you that in another video when we do some of the actual month setups. I'll show you the one that I've done so far just for February. In fact, I had that on a video and that wasn't turning out very well either. So if you haven't seen how I did the altering of the book, I probably didn't upload doing the layout of February either. It was pretty bad. So I'll just show it to you now. And in this one, I didn't show you how to deal with the images because there weren't any. It was all text on both pages. So that was very easy to deal with. I drew my lines in across and down to make my rows. Added my days of the week. I just hand wrote them in. You could have stamped them or cut them out, you know, and glued them in, whatever. Added washi tape down each side. Added the month name. Did my dates in the squares. Added the year. Since this is the first month of the book, you know, I've only got a few pages ahead of that. And I tore out a heart out of some watercolor book text that I did and glued that in just to represent Valentine's Day. Now I'm starting to go back and put in dates, important things that we did and had throughout the month. And I probably need to hide this one because it's personal. Yeah. Adding some things that are happening, like today I have to take my mom to an appointment, so you know, I've put that in. But anyway, that's how it lays out, and this is ready to go, and it doesn't take long at all. But before I go any farther in the book and do more months, I wanted to go ahead and decorate the front of the book. And I'm just feeling the mood to play a little bit with some paint and some paper and cut and paste. And I probably would have started my month layouts, but I found this label as I was cleaning off up here on my little spinner rack that has my paints and things in it and paper clips and stuff. I found this label from a magazine, I guess, or some piece of mail, but it looks like one of those that comes on a magazine that you have a subscription to that has your name and address already posted on it with bunches of numbers and barcodes and stuff. That has my identification on it. I am slapping that in the front of this book, and I may even possibly add my phone number down here, so if this one ever gets lost, misplaced, hopefully some soul will look inside and see that I love this book enough to put my name and address in it and would like the thing back. And maybe they will mail it to me, or like I said, I may even have my phone number, and yeah, then they could call me up and say, hey, we found your crazy book, do you want it or not? And I could then choose to, yeah, I would definitely go get it. Oh my gosh, I'm devastated about losing my other book, but that's okay. This book is going to be just as great, if not better. Yeah. So I'm in the mood now. I thought how amazing. The lady that had these before, her name is Patricia. She had a lot of little notes and stuff handwritten. It was so cool, stashed in the book. So I know these books were fairly well used by her. And she had some things taped to the front of the journal. In fact, under here is another piece of actual tape that's still left. But you can see where some of the tape or paper, like maybe it was something out of a newspaper or magazine she had clipped, but the acid, I guess from the paper that she added here, burned into this paper and left these dark areas. I love that. And it's perfect for this label, like to be a little border around it. So yeah, when I saw that and then this thing just happened to drop right down into my face, I was like, okay, let's go ahead and decorate this cover, get that glued down. Yeah, that was meant to be. So I pulled out, I'm going to go by this card that I added in. It's a Happy Mail postcard from a lady named Trina, I think. Trina or Trina. And I think her last name is Willoughby. I might be wrong about that. And if I am, to the Trina who sent this to me, I'm very sorry. But I think that's your last name. I believe I have already mailed you a card too. And that's why I recognized your name maybe. But we're in a group together on Facebook and exchanging postcards just, you know, as we can for fun, for Happy Mail. Well, she sent me one, and so I've had it sitting over to the side waiting to do something with it. I really love all the bright colors. And then it hit me. I had a postcard from another Happy Mail in my other book here as a pocket. So this one I just did as a tuck spot. I left it open here. And I thought I'll use these bright like neon pinks and oranges and start decorating in the front of this book. And I'm just going to literally go for it. I don't have a lot of time today, but what I thought I'd do is I'm just going to pop my finger in the end of this and make some little dots with my neon. I have never been, before now, a huge fan of neon. Never. Even back in, I guess it was the 80s, that neon was really hip and cool. And you would think I would have liked it. I grew up in the 80s. I was in high school in the 80s and college, and yeah, into fashion. Didn't jump on the train with that one. I think any other fashion trend I did. I was right there with it, but not the neon. I'm sure I had a few neon things, but nothing like some people. Oh, what killed me the most back in the day were the neon sunglasses. You remember those? And the eye part was black, and then you had your earpieces that ran down the, held them on your head over your ears. Yeah, they were neon, like yellow or pink, or green. I remember a lot of guys wearing green ones and blue ones. Not me. I say not me, and watch, somebody will come up with a picture of me, yeah, in some neon sunglasses. Let me put it this way. I don't remember wearing them. Yeah, given the choice, I don't think I would have chosen those, even when they were in fashion. I just didn't like it. Well, all of a sudden, I have developed a fixation for neon. Not through with the orange yet. Just need to get more in my cap, I guess. Oh, by the way, if you see anything white and fuzzy on me, it's from a sweater that I wear, like a cardigan. Yeah, I didn't think about that when I bought the thing. I absolutely love it, but it sheds like an animal would. Let's make these bigger. Yeah. I'm going to do big spots instead of little dots. Okay. I'll put one down here. That one there. Yeah, just wanted to add some bright colors. I don't know. Let's do a line of color around this box because we really want people to notice it. Yeah, if I lose this, I really want people to see that my name is here on a label, and maybe they will get in touch with me and I won't have to remake the same book a third time, which is my own fault for not putting my name or some kind of identifying information in there to start with. Yeah, most people do that for their, now I know why they do that with their journals, address books, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's kind of important. I guess I wasn't thinking about it because I generally don't go anywhere with it. Not anymore, now that both, I don't drive kids around anymore. They have their own lessons and do their own thing. So generally speaking, I'm at home with it. But I do now take my parents or go with them to appointments and things. And so I guess it's kind of back to that. I need to keep in mind I have a go bag packed, art bag, because I am taking these kinds of things with me more often now again. Like today, we have an appointment this afternoon. I've got to go to Newbern to take Mom to therapy, which she's doing very good with. I'm so excited for her. She had back surgery about 3 weeks ago, and excuse me, there, turn this around. There, maybe they'll notice that bright orange box. But anyway, she's doing physical therapy to help her back and get everything, back in shape. And she's doing very well with it, and I'm so excited. We won't know about pain relief for a while. She's still, and they said it was normal to still be experiencing, a fair amount of pain. Let's just do around the edges a little bit. I don't know why. I can't even remember what the other book looked like. I need to put the date in here of when I started the book, I guess. would be something good to put. And I want to use some blue. All the neon colors. Well, I don't know. I might skip the lime green. I want to stick with some blues, I think. I love blue and orange together. And let's see if we can put a little bit more up here. Okay. And there's a hint of yellow in there too. I want to make sure I use some yellow. But yeah, that's the story of losing my book. Mom was in the hospital. The hospital she went to is about 45 minutes away. So just under an hour, which is not very far at all. And we were up there. She was in there for 5 days. So my brother and I, and my dad went first with her, checked her in, got her in for surgery. And of course we went that night. Daddy spent the night with her. And the next day, wait a minute, let me find my blue that I want to use. I'll try to get the rest of this distress paint out, the cracked pistachio. I want to use some of that, as well as, well, they're similar. This is Key West. There's a little bit in that. I'm trying to use up some paints that that I just have little bits of left. Let's see, a real light blue might be cool too. Cloudless. I thought I had one that was even paler than that. Excuse my arm, y'all. Yeah, China blue. That's paler. Might use that. So, anyway, she goes in for surgery. Well, long story short, she ended up being a patient through Friday, Monday through Friday. So she was a patient for 5 days. Well, my dad stayed the first night or two, and we knew that after that, Daddy couldn't take much more because he's got back trouble himself. I'll put this down here to shake. So my brother came in from, he lives out of town, and he's about 7 hours away, 6 or 7. So luckily, he came in town. Was able to get off work and everything, and I was so grateful because he offered to help, stay and help her out also. And so he stayed a night, and then I went up and relieved him and stayed with her the next night or two. But in the meantime, my brother came home to their house and helped started to get things ready for her to come home, like moving any furniture around that needed to be done, or getting equipment like a walker, that kind of thing for her. Yeah. Well, we finally get her out of the hospital. She had a fever. She kept having fever, and they couldn't figure out why. Could not find like infection. They would do blood work and it would come back fine. So they never did find a real reason for her to have a fever, like, in the blood work, which was kind of strange, I thought. So, because I'm just assuming that if she had a, true staph infection or something, that it would have shown up, in the blood, and it, like I said, it never did. So anyway, they finally decided on Friday, even though she had a low-grade fever, that she was probably okay to go. I mean, it's like the doctor says she couldn't be in there forever. Yeah, so we went to get her out, and in all the chaos and commotion, which is strange because she ended up being one of the last patients released that day. She'd already had orders to go, and something got us held up, and I honestly cannot. I need more of that color. I cannot remember for the life of me what it was. But anyway, finally at I don't know, sometime in the mid-afternoon, a doctor that had been watching, over her came in and spoke with us about taking care of, everything, watching her temperature and blood pressure and all that stuff when we got home. And Yeah. Well, my brother, I didn't hear it, but apparently the transport guy, they have to have a body for everything now. You can't just have a nurse do it, apparently, or it's not typically done anymore. The person who's supposed to transport her downstairs in the wheelchair apparently stuck his head in during the doctor visit, saw the doctor in there, and thought, oh Lord, don't know how long this will take. I'm out of here. Well, apparently it was around 5 o'clock. And so once the doctor did finish and we got all of her stuff together, or finished getting it all together, there was nobody to be found to take her downstairs. Well, what happened was the nurses thought we were gone. So all of a sudden they hear us in there talking or something, and she peeks her head in the door and goes, y'all are still here? This is at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. We were like, yeah. She goes, oh my God. We said, well, we're waiting on the wheelchair guy. And she said, they're gone. They leave at 5 o'clock days. Well, we've been in there an hour and a half. Great, right? So instead of getting upset, we just kind of laugh it off. And there had been other little fun things like that going on this whole week. Whatever. Point is, I left my book. I had been looking at it, and we were looking at this picture of my dad I had put in there. When you check in the hospital there to visit, they take your picture up at the front desk, and it's on this little badge, like this is sticky. Oh, well, here's mine. So there I am at the hospital to see a visitor tag, and it's sticky on the back, and it has your name and the date and what room you're going to see. Okay. You have this tag that you wear like this, and it has your picture, your name, the name of the hospital, which I've covered up, and where you're going and what day it is. And the tag's only good for that one day. It's sticky on the back, so you just slap it on your shirt, and you're good to go. Well, my dad had this from the first day, right? And I found it laying up by her sink there in the room, where he had just peeled it off his shirt that night, I guess. Well, I couldn't stand it. I had to have that badge. I was like, well, yeah, he won't need it for any other day because it's only good for the day that it's dated on, of the date that's on it. Well, I took that and slapped it in my original planner book, right around the date of her surgery. I loved it because Daddy doesn't like to have his picture made very often, I mean, it's not his favorite thing to do. Not mine either always, but if somebody says, hey, smile, I'm taking a picture, I will put a smile on my face. So here was Daddy's face. It was so cute on that badge. I'll try to draw kind of big so you can see. Wait, let me use a Sharpie, then you can really see it. Okay. So let's just draw a circle for the face, and here were the eyes, right? And here was this smile. Granted, keep in mind, he was a little stressed, because Mom's had a lot going on the past year with her health. And so nothing with her has been real easygoing. I mean, like, it's not been like life and death immediate right then, but, there are things that, could harm a person, yes, if not taken care of. So he's been a little more than stressed. His blood pressure's been up. He's got back trouble. And so, it's always just like one more thing. Well, there we are. He is, having to have his picture snapped, and he's worried about her and her surgery and whatnot. He was not too concerned about what his badge picture looked like. I totally get it, but it was just so cute. I was like, I put it in there and drew arrows around it. I was like, this is my dad, my daddy, and just, it's hard to get a picture of him. So when I found that one laying on the sink there in her room, I was like, I really have to have that. He didn't want it. So, yeah, it's been very eventful around here. We'll just add these little pluses, maybe some more little dots. I just don't know what I'm doing. Just adding dots at the moment. And I'll be adding stickers and other ephemera in here, I'm sure, covering most of this up probably. In fact, the only thing that'll probably be showing is this card and my name badge by the time I'm done. Yeah. I just felt like pushing some paint around today. Just wanted to smudge it up, add some color. until I get some things, you know, added in here that I really want to keep. That's the main thing, yeah. I was so used to opening up my other book and having color just boom right in my face. I'd use the neon colors also in that one. I just didn't have an inspiration to do so. I just decided, I think I had just gotten my neon paints right around the time I made the other book, and that was what prompted me to use the neons. I was anxious to try them out. I think I'll just do yellows and singles. I love circles. Not a big fan of the square. And what's funny about that, I mean, not the square, the triangle, is triangles, you use triangles to make so many things, like drawing and stuff, but I don't like them. I love squares, ovals. Just not a fan of the old triangle. Isn't that funny? They're very pointy. Very pointy, yeah. Okay, there's some yellow. And I think I'm about done. I think I'm gonna add, for paint anyway, I'm going to add some, okay, it's still filming. Let's add my name label. And before I put this down, I think I do want to ink around it with my black ink. I would not use my StazOn. I would otherwise use my archival pad of black, but it's almost completely dry. So just for time's sake and you know, just trying to get it done. Okay, that's not gonna go. I think I need one of my little blenders. Yeah. Let me just get that inked up a little bit. Here we go. Just to help reinforce the fact that this is on the page to whoever might run across it. My goodness, the ink smells so good, y'all. There's something about the black too, because I have other colors of StazOn, and it doesn't smell like this one does. This one smells like grape Dimetapp from when I was a little kid. I don't know if it still smells like that or not. You know, like how it used to taste, I guess. It's one of the only medicines my mom could get me to take without having a major meltdown, because it tasted like, you know, good. Okay, yeah, we're gonna glue that bad boy right there. Okay, let's get this closed back up and pop that back. Just some pieces of paper I found just now looking for my ink that I might throw down on this. Oh, I need my new glue stick, I think. I swear, if this falls out, I probably will put some tape down eventually on this or something to make sure it stays in the book. Okay, now we know the book belongs to me. Okay, so that's the learning thing for all of us, all of you. Make sure you put your name, identification of some sort in that book, or no name and maybe just a phone number. You know, if you don't want people to know who you are if they do find it. You know, no weirdos turning up at your house. Yeah, you may want to put just one or the other, something like that. Anyway, I'm putting everything I've got, everything but my bank account in that book right there, so I can get it back. Yeah, okay, we're gonna let this dry and then I'll be back.